Hello Monkton, welcome to week 2 of our home learning in sport. This week we're going to be looking at some tennis skills, so you need a tennis racket and a tennis ball, and an area of ground that you can work on. Now, all the skills that we use today will help you in your hand-eye coordination that also relates to other sports as well. So the more practice you put in on each of these skills, it'll help you develop in all the different sports that you enjoy playing that involve a ball. So where we live, we don't actually have an area of ground that we can practice our tennis on, apart from the small road that just runs outside our home. So please do not use the road for your practices, but this is all that we have available to us. So I've made a square on the road with socks, about the size of a service box on the tennis court. And Poppy and Miriam are going to go into the square now and bounce the ball, moving their feet, using both hands, and watching where the ball goes and reacting to the bounce. So if you've got someone to be able to play with, this is a great warm-up game for you to be able to get your movement going and your reactions. So if Poppy's going to throw the ball to Miriam, Miriam's then going to bounce the ball and Poppy has to react to get the ball. You might have played this at school in one of our PE lessons. So moving the ball around the court, making it more and more difficult for your partner. 2 hands catching the ball. So if you don't have someone to be able to throw the ball against, you can always find a bit of wall and throw the ball against the wall and then react to what the wall brings you with the ball coming back at you, if you see what I mean. So Poppy's moving her feet, she's getting herself in the right position, and then she's throwing it and having to react to where the ball bounces. So the key things from this are to make sure you catch the ball sideways on, and then your hands are ready to receive the ball in 2 hands, and you do a big C shape when you receive the ball with your shoulders and your arms, and then you release the ball back to where it came from. Okay. So it's about being consistent in your technique of catching the ball sideways on, throwing your arms with the ball towards your partner and releasing it into a controlled space in a controlled way. So if you don't have a partner to practice with, find the wall that's safe to throw against and throw the ball and react, catching the ball sideways on, and then moving your feet to be able to make a big C shape when you receive the ball and then pass the ball back to the wall. So for the next challenge and skill, I'd like you to get your racket out and practice bouncing the ball on the racket. How many times can you manage this without dropping the ball? Keep your wrists strong, keep your eye on the ball, and this will help your hand-eye coordination, not just in tennis but lots of sports. When you feel confident to bounce it on the forehand really easily, flip the racket over and see if you can do it on the backhand. And keep moving those feet and reacting to where the ball goes. You set the challenge, you set the target. Keep going, Mimi. That's it, Pops. Good. Bouncing the ball on the ground this time. Moving those feet and reacting when needed. So for the next practice, it might feel a bit strange, but you're going to practice some shadow shots where there's no ball, but you're going to get used to pointing, stepping, and then a big C shape with your racket around and then following off the shot over your shoulder. And as you can see, Poppy's pointing, she's stepping, and then the racket finishes over the shoulder. And her backhand, she's using 2 hands for the backhand. Point, step, hit. Here it comes. Point, step, hit. Backhand, step, the racket through over the shoulder every time. So combining the shadow shots, the movement and the hand-eye coordination, let's see if you can step into the ball, have your hands swing over the shoulder when you finish the shot and hit that ball back to the partner who's able to feed it to you. The next practice I'd like to have a go at is the toss-up for the serve, where you practice letting the ball go above your head and it goes a good height into the air and then it comes back down again for you to be able to catch it in the same hand. And the consistency in being able to throw the ball up, knowing where it's going to go, to be able to throw your racket at the ball to make a good service. Make sure the ball goes a good distance above your head and put a racket on the floor to give you an idea of where you want that ball to land if you were to let it drop. So the next game is to actually practice throwing the ball up and seeing if it can land on the racket, which is giving you an idea that the ball is going to be in the right place. 10 points if it lands on the racket. See if you can volley the ball between yourself and a partner, where you bounce the ball once on your racket and then send it back to your partner. And if you haven't got a person to play with, see if you can do this against the wall. So the next progression from this is to volley the ball once to yourself and then put a bounce in for your partner to have to react to. So one volley and then bounce. So the last thing is to finish by making sure every shot you make is a C shape and it goes over the shoulder, and you roll that racket over the shoulder and see if you can get a rally going with your partner. Just nice and gentle, not too hard. So I hope those skills and practices have given you something to work on. It might be the first time you've picked up a tennis racket this year, but keep working at it. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon makes a massive difference to your tennis skills and your hand-eye coordination. Challenge yourself, give yourself targets to try and reach and see what you can achieve. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the second cricket skills session of the term. Today we're going to be looking at an attacking shot, the sweep shot. And for your setup today, you can have some stumps to bat in front of if you want to, that's optional. But you're going to need 3 targets. Now I've got a set of stumps there for my target when I'm hitting behind square, but I've also gone and looked for other things that I can use because you may not have some stumps at home. So here we've got a sofa cushion, a chair cushion, and we've got a garden waste bucket. So anything you can find that you can stand and give us a rough target. So for our sweep shot, we're going to stand in front of the stumps, and then when the ball comes, it's all about the length of the ball. So it's a fuller delivery ball from perhaps a slower bowler. We think we can play an attacking shot to the leg side. So if it's landing in the yellow kind of area, just beyond the yellow, I'm going to play my shot more in front of square towards the garden bucket. If it's landing on the purple area, probably coming at the stumps, I'm going to sweep more square towards the chair cushion. And if it's in the red zone, going down the leg side, I can choose where I sweep, but I'm probably going to aim to go a bit more fine behind square. But again, I could go in front of square, depending on where I contact the ball. Key points is, you're going to take a nice big stride into the ball, you're going to get low, you're going to bring your hands down in line with your knee, and you're going to sweep round, roll the wrists if you want to keep the ball down. So here we go. Red. Purple. Purple. Yellow. Yellow. So a bit of a top edge there, really important to keep the bat coming from high to low and roll those wrists to keep the ball down. So we'll try again for yellow. Okay, so there you have it, the sweep shot. So if you're finding it a bit more challenging hitting the ball after the bounce, or maybe the feed isn't consistent enough, or maybe your surface just doesn't bounce correctly enough, then what you can do is you can actually preset into the front foot position. So you can load your weight over that front knee, you can have your bat ready to hit, and you can ask your feeder just to throw the ball so it hits you between the knee and the foot. Maybe a bit lower. Maybe a bit lower. Or more. And we can practice our sweep from that position. Good luck. So again, if you've got smaller people in your household, they may struggle with the feed being thrown towards them. So you can use something like a tee. You may not have a tee at home, but you can adapt a plastic water bottle. If you cut off the bottom and maybe place it on the ground, take the top off, you can balance the ball on top of that. But whatever you can, something to hit off the top of, and we're going to put the tee in front of William there, put the ball on top, and we're going to encourage him to take a big step and bend his front knee, and then we're going to keep his hands low and sweep round. Good boy, William. We'll go again. Pop the ball on top. Okay, big step, bend that front knee, hands low. Good. Good boy. Okay, so you can vary where you put the tee to start with, and it might encourage him to hit that yellow target if possible. So can you sweep around and hit that yellow target, William? Nearly. And one more time. Should we try and hit the chair cover? Okay. You ready? Big step. Big step, William. Sweep those hands around. Sweep. Good boy. Well done, William. High five.